whatever. So in our lives, we have middles. People, say, "Oh, I was broke, now I'm rich. I didn't have a job, now I got a seven-figure company." But what happened in the middle? But nobody wants to talk about that. Hi, it's Paula from Moms Who Win, and today I have accepted the In the Middle challenge given by my sis, Patrice Washington. And what that challenge essentially is people sharing what happened in the middle. So let me explain to you what the middle is. Pastor Mike Todd, who is a pastor in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I follow his ministry online, and he's phenomenal. He's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the church is Transformation Church. So he did a sermon about the middle, and what the middle essentially is what he like. Well, he gave the analogy about when Christ was crucified on Friday, and then he rose on Sunday. But nobody ever talks about what happened in the middle on Saturday. What the things that went on, the difficulties, the drama, the stress, the whatever. So in our lives, we have middles. People, say, "Oh, I was broke, now I'm rich. I didn't have a job, now I got a seven-figure company." But what happened in the middle? But nobody wants to talk about that because that's like the forbidden fruit. So I've accepted the challenge, and I chose a middle, one of my middles to talk about. And I have several. I could do a documentary on on middles, but I have one that I'm gonna talk about today. So he says in the middle you have a dilemma, and then you're presented with a dilemma. The enemy hits you with deception. Then you have a decision to make, and once you make that decision, something is going to die. There's going to be the death of something, and then something eventually will be resurrected and will come from that. So I thought about the time when, which was my dilemma, was when my daughter, a little bit after she was diagnosed with autism and developmental delay. And at the time, I was working full time, and the program that they suggested for her, it was during the day, and a parent had to take her. So it's like, okay, what am I gonna do? Because at the time, my then husband, we were separated. I was a single parent with a house note, car note, grown woman bills. But they're telling me, this is the program. Will be great for her. Early intervention, all of that. So, here I am, continually trying to grow in my faith. And the Lord was like, okay, you say you love me. You say you trust me. I'll take care of you. I'm like, how? How you going to do that? So, at the time, I prepared taxes during tax season, and I also was doing some event planning. So basically, those were going to be my income sources, and I was scared to death. And basically, when you say you love the Lord, you trust Him, but we think our paychecks are what we're doing. We don't think of it as God is providing. God can provide for you in any number of ways. Uh, what is the one that He'll send a bird with a note? He'll do whatever He needs to do. But you don't really know that until you get into a situation and you have to depend on that. So I made a decision. I'm going to trust God. I say I love Him. I believe His word. It's my daughter and what she needs, or you know, I didn't really. It really was no choice. So it was like I'm gonna have to depend on God. So that's what I did. I left my job, and a little after January is when she started the program, and then everybody thought I had lost my mind. What are you doing? How are you gonna make it? I'm like, I'm trusting God, and that was my answer. I had no laid out business plan of, this projections and so this was before. See, now entrepreneurship is sexy and everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's hustling, and this is before that. I mean, the good thing for me is I come from a family of entrepreneurs and business owners. I know what the life is. So it wasn't a huge leap for me to think, but it was just so quick that I had to make the decision. But God was there. So I made the decision, like, okay, God, what you gonna do? So it was a day by day dependence. And I, kept my face in the Word, at the church, Bible study, Sunday service, choir rehearsal. So I would think I was taking my daughter to children's choir. But whatever, I kept my face in front of God because I had to. I had no other way. I didn't have a plan B. I didn't have the ships were burned. If you know about the burning of the ships were burned. All I had was God to depend on. So that's what I did, and it was tough, and it's only tough because I had to get reprogrammed to being dependent on God. We think when we get a paycheck, we're making it happen. But when you own a business and when you, especially new, especially if you don't have a plan backup or, a main job where you're getting a steady paycheck, you have to depend on God. And it's such a whole other, it's like every day. Okay, Lord, what we doing? Praying, fasting, growing in my faith. It was no joke. We were never hungry. Didn't get, you know, foreclosed. None of that. But God provided, and it was miraculous to see, and to live it was a whole other thing because again, I had this fear all the time that I was constantly having to combat and pray about, and listen to God, and just it strengthened my faith, and which is why I am, I wouldn't change it for the world. It's the reason I am who I am today, because I would not have known God had I not. I don't think, there's things that probably since then would have, but that's one of the things I look back on and I'm grateful for, that He pushed me in that way, because it forced me to know Him. You have your levels. You think I love the Lord, and then He takes you to another level, and you be like, oh yeah, and then you. So it was a thing of me growing in my faith, and it was a day by day dependence for many years. I I didn't go back to a job or to work for someone else until a long time, like a few years ago. I went to work for someone, but other than that, I had several businesses since then, but that was the start, and that was a difficult time for me because all I had was God, and that's why I talk to women and mothers the way that I do, because I know it's possible. I'm not talking about what I read. I lived it. I know what God is able to do. I know what He'll do for you if you truly put your trust in Him, truly lean and give Him your everything. That's what He'll do for you. He'll keep you encouraged. He'll show you the way, but you have to trust Him, and you have to just lay it all on the carpet and say, God, He's waiting on us to say, I only have you. You are all that I have. You are the only one that can help me. And that's what that time did for me. And it was no joke. And like she was saying, Patrice was saying, and the thing, everybody just, they see your, like they say, they see your glory, but they don't know your story. And I don't talk from, pie in the sky, what I read. Like I said, I lived it. I live it now. I need God every day. So that's why I feel the way I do about moms and about God. And so I pray you were blessed by my middle. by hearing my story. And I hope you'll be encouraged if you're in the middle currently. God is able. He's just waiting on you. If you let it go, open your hand and give it to Him, He'll take it and He'll do whatever you need to be done. So that's it. Signing off. Have a great day. Be blessed. Hold on to His hand. That's it. That's real.